Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The Wayne County prosecutor says it was a 12-year-old who pulled the trigger and killed a man in Detroit. We are live tonight with brand new information as a child stands charged with a very adult crime. Ben.
Kim, if you're still deciding whether or not to turn on the air conditioner this week, we have some data that may make that decision super easy. Devin?
All right, Ben, we're going to begin, though, with President Biden visiting Dearborn to tout the auto industry's electric future. At the same time, a short distance away, thousands were calling on him to take action and intervene in the Middle East. Good to have you with us for Local 4 News at 5. Amid the intense violence in the Middle East, President Biden toured the Ford Rouge plant in Dearborn, the city, of course, with the largest concentration of Arab Americans in the country.
And while it was all cheers inside, it was a much different story just a short distance away. Priya Mann is following the protests. We're going to check in with her coming up in just a moment.
Let's start things off, though, with Rod Maloney and President Biden's message to the auto industry. Rod.
Yeah, Devin, it's the auto industry and the nation, really, Devin. He has an ambitious agenda, and he started out by slamming former President Trump, hitting him for his policies that took away the incentives for electric vehicles, because the president believes the electric vehicle is the focal point behind a whole new agenda, essentially putting as much money in, or would like to put in as much money in, as they did in turning the industry around back in 2009 and 10. And again, it's the electric vehicle at the heart of it all.
The future of the auto industry is electric. There's no turning back. And as Rory says, the American auto industry is at a crossroads. And the real question is whether we'll lead or we'll fall behind in the race to the future, or whether we'll build these vehicles and the batteries that go in them here in the United States or rely on other countries.
The president came to the Dearborn truck plant to see the new Lightning Electric F-150, which Ford's going to unveil tomorrow, and he pointed to America's best-selling vehicle to make the case that the government incentivize electric vehicle production and provide the needed charging stations.
Thank you for showing how we win the competition of the 21st century. You know, how the future is going to be made, but it's going to be made here in America. Made in America.
This sucker's quick.
How's it drive?
The president sat in the F-150 and asked lots of questions about it and allowed his inner car guy to boil over.
Damn, you're gonna like it. And I'd sure like to drive it. I wonder whether or not I can lose the Secret Service and go out to the track.
He got his wish, sliding out to the test track, getting a test drive, one that he clearly enjoyed. Yeah, the track is just in the back of the property here over by the Henry Ford, and he certainly had a good time doing this. Now, the president is in the situation where he is blaming, or not blaming, but saying that the Chinese are way ahead of the American car industry as it pertains to electric vehicles. They also control many of the minerals that go into those batteries that need to be made, and the president is saying they need to be made here. And so that's what this American Jobs Program is all about. And he's looking to see if he can get that money out of Congress to do so. And we'll be talking about China and the importance of that and the race that the president is now saying is underway, and where we fit in that coming up on Local 4 News at 6. Back to you.
All part of why it is hard to overestimate the importance of that unveiling coming up tomorrow. All right, Rod. Now, meantime, a short distance away, a large group of protesters demanded action from President Biden to intervene in the violence in Gaza.
But the issue itself was only briefly mentioned by the president during his speech inside the plant. Priya Mann is following that part of the story for us tonight. Priya, there was massive turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. Kim, Devin, if the president was hoping for a warm reception, he wasn't getting it here at Dearborn Police Headquarters. Thousands gathered to protest and march, calling on President Biden to do more.
Joe Biden is going to hear us today one way or the other.
2 miles from where President Biden was touring the Ford Rouge plant, thousands had gathered.
And right now, over there in the South End, that war criminal Joe Biden is waltzing into Dearborn, thinking he can just come in here, walk into the Rouge plant, say a few words and leave.
At a press conference earlier Tuesday, many spoke to the president directly.
Mr. President, we ask you to help navigate the peace, not to make war.
During Tuesday's speech, Biden made only one comment referencing Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
I tell you what, Rashid, I want to say to you that I admire your intellect, I admire your passion. I pray that your grandmom and family are well. I promise you I'm going to do everything to see that they are on the West Bank.
Protesters then took to the streets, marching along Michigan Avenue, saying they helped elect the president and were dissatisfied with his response.
I hope that he hears us. I hope that he is somebody who can support the Palestinian people.
You don't have to be anti-anything to be a pro-Palestinian. You just need to be human with basic understanding for human rights.
Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, we're talking to a woman whose childhood home is at the center of escalating tensions. And we're also talking to Jewish leaders right here in Metro Detroit as families on both sides watch developments unfold halfway around the world. Reporting live from Dearborn, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Priya, are they planning any more protests?
Yeah, I understand there's another protest that's planned in Ann Arbor this weekend.
Yeah,
Send it back to you.
We'll be following it. Okay, Priya, thank you. Well, for mid-May, it really can't be sunny and right around 80 degrees here.
Spectacular day again. Let's check in with Ben and see what's coming in our way tonight. Ben.
It only gets warmer from here, guys. Again, these are some of the cooler numbers that we're going to be seeing as you look out over Belle Isle. Still a decent amount of clouds, but the grass is still green, even though we really could still use some rain, and we're not going to see all that much of it going forward. Mid-70s, we're right now at 80 there at Adrian, but Detroit, because of that southeast wind, has been just a little bit cooler than everybody else this afternoon. So for the rest of the evening, 70s and 60s. Just an absolutely gorgeous evening. We will see a few of those clouds hanging around. Tomorrow, though, we do have some rain chances. We'll discuss timing on that. Temperatures really start to rise on Thursday and Friday, and there are some weekend changes. You see some raindrops there for Saturday. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Guys?
Okay, Ben. Jeff Blashill will coach the Detroit Red Wings for a 7th season.
Fans been waiting for word from Steve Yzerman. This comes after the team and Blashill agreed to a contract extension. The length of that contract has not yet been revealed. We also, though, learned that assistant coach Dan Bilesma will not be returning. You'll recall Blashill was awarded a 2-year extension a few weeks before Steve Yzerman was named GM back in 2019. Yzerman has consistently defended the job Blashill has done, even as the team has struggled in the standings. Bernie will have a closer look coming up in sports.
All right, let's take a look now at today's coronavirus numbers. The state is reporting 1,271 new cases over the past 24 hours. 83 new deaths are also being reported, including 27 from a vital records review.
Let's take a look now at the vaccine numbers. 10.3 million doses have been delivered to Michigan. 7.8 million of them have been administered.
The gains in the statewide vaccination rate are coming very slowly. As of today, 56.5% of all Michigan adults have received at least one dose of the vaccine.
Now, Michigan is going to reinstate a requirement that people receiving unemployment benefits show they are actively looking for work. The work search requirement is effective May 30th. Claimants will have to conduct at least one work search activity for each week that they qualify for benefits. Meantime, we're learning that the state has no plan to end the $300 weekly federal supplement that's been going to 816,000 jobless Michiganders. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office has charged a 12-year-old boy in a deadly shooting on Detroit's west side.
They say the boy shot and killed 26-year-old Devontae Relford outside a home on Mark Twain Sunday night during an argument. Let's get to Victor Williams live tonight. Victor, we're getting a much clearer picture of what police say happened.
Yes, Devin and Kimberly, a really sad and heartbreaking situation for everyone involved here. On one hand, you have a man that is now dead, and on the other hand, you have police pointing the finger at a little boy. A 12-year-old who's not being named has been charged in the death of 26-year-old Devontae Relford. Officers say the 26-year-old's death came as the result of an altercation in a home on Mark Twain Street this past Sunday. It's believed the 12-year-old shot the victim in the back during some type of domestic fight involving someone's family members. All that remains under investigation. Officers made it to the scene to find the 26-year-old lying on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds. He was transported to the hospital where he died. The preteen, born in the year 2008, has now been charged with manslaughter and felony firearm. Originally, there was another person in their mid-20s who was arrested during this shooting while the minor was detained. As time passed, however, it was discovered the 12-year-old may have been the one who pulled the trigger. And this young man was given a $10,000 bond. He's due back in court on June 7th. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Victor, do we know if there were others at the home at the time the shooting happened?
Well, we're told by police that there were plenty of other people there, but like we said before, all this remains under investigation as police try their best to sort all of this out.
All right, Victor, thanks.
We've got much more to come on this Tuesday. Let's check in with Sean Lay. Sean.
Detroit police and mental health crisis calls, what Detroit's new interim chief brings to the table.
Help Me Hank exclusive. We are one-on-one today with the director of the Michigan Unemployment Insurance Agency, getting answers to the questions that you've been asking me. Coming up tonight.
9 fully vaccinated members of the Yankees organization test positive for COVID. But there's a lot more to the story. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, what we can all learn from this curveball about how the vaccines may